This morning, after a 7-day hostage release pause, having failed to provide a list of more hostages for release, the Hamas army of terror in the Gaza Strip violated the terms of the agreed framework and launched rocket fire at Israeli communities. At 5:43 a.m., Hamas fired the first rocket from Gaza, and that rocket fire has since intensified, with sirens blaring across southern Israel all morning, including in communities that are still under mandatory evacuation orders and in those kibbutzim ethnically cleansed by Hamas during its campaign of systematic extermination on October 7th. Unfortunately, Hamas decided to terminate the pause by failing to release all the kidnapped women as it was obligated to do so, and kidnapped children, and by resuming rocket fire. The perpetrators of the October 7th massacre have decided to hold on to the hostages they brutally abducted in violation of humanitarian law and every norm of humanity. Having chosen to hold on to our women, Hamas will now take the mother of all thumpings. As Hamas terminates the hostage release pause, news continues to emerge about its serial and sadistic abuse of Israeli hostages in captivity, both psychological, torture, and physical abuse. We now know from the family of Yagil and Or Yaakov, aged 12 and 16 respectively, that Hamas drugged our children and branded them like cattle with burns from motorcycle exhaust pipes in order to identify them in case they tried to escape. And Mia Shem, aged 21, her family saying her hand injury was operated on by a vet. Hamas treated our people worse than animals, and we will put Hamas down. The IDF has been sending messages and announcements to the people of Gaza, calling on them to evacuate from specific areas that are being used by Hamas for terrorist activities in the areas of what are, of course, legitimate military targets that will be destroyed in response to the October 7th massacre as Hamas continues to vow another October 7th. The IDF has published an evacuation zone map in Gaza, and we urge uninvolved civilians to evacuate along the designated routes away from the specific areas of Hamas terror activity for their own safety. That interactive map can be found on the IDF website, and the details are by now familiar to the people of the Gaza Strip.